Thank you, and good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming. There's talk about top-down, which has been most of what we've discussed this morning. You've seen the words bottom-up. This is where it gets real. It gets real for each and every person in this room because we all live here. Most of us live here. Over 7 million people who could be victims or could be rescuers. The definition of a resilient city turns on the top-down work that we've mostly focused on, but also equally important is the awareness, readiness, participation of individuals, families, neighbor to neighbor. Without that, what we know now from California, from our emergency services, they made an announcement just a year ago that climate has changed sufficiently that the existing emergency operations systems and infrastructure, they can no longer guarantee the safety and protection of the people. Literally translates to, in many cases now, and you're seeing it across the United States, hurricane after hurricane and in fires, it's neighbors who are saving neighbors because the magnitude of the events is far beyond the ability of emergency services to get there and respond. So this gets personal. Each and every person in this room has a family, maybe has kids, maybe has parents who may be at home alone when an event happens. Whether or not they are saved has everything to do with the kinds of communication, planning, and discussions you have with your neighbors in your communities. Also think about it. Every human is a tremendous sensor. If we're enabled, informed, inspired, we can sense what's happening. But we tend to leave the millions of us out of the picture, which then tends to set us up for greater and greater numbers of victims, which doesn't have to happen. So as we deploy, the bottom-up side means really putting energy into both educating and informing the public. People have the capacity to understand, and when they do, they're able to respond. Encouraging and supporting neighbor-to-neighbor communication and effectiveness. So one, when a major event happens, people will be able to save and protect each other. In California during the fires, it was literally a matter of 30 seconds to a minute that people had in the middle of the night to sometimes, if they had not met with their neighbors before the fire, and in the Santa Rosa fire, 10,000 homes burnt in a couple hours, many people were killed. If they didn't know their neighbors and they woke up to the smoke, if they didn't know them, if they waited 30 seconds or a minute to knock on the door or break a window to wake them up and get them out, sometimes that was a matter of life and death. These are the kinds of things we may be facing with landslides and other things in this community. So the ability to have people save each other is important, but also the last piece of this is that it is possible to enable members and people throughout the community to also be first responders. One of the big issues with the last typhoon was trees, branches down all over. Not possible to have enough government people out on the roads quick enough to clear the branches. But many people have chainsaws, garden equipment, or could be trained by local fire officials or road officials deployed with chainsaws, so you have people throughout the community who can respond quickly to make sure those roads are open so other emergency services are available. So this is just a glimpse of how we can be safe. People want to help. It's in our nature. We need to enable them to be part of the whole team, and we could have millions of helpers. That will be the key to lowering damage, increasing survival, increasing hope.